Mergify launched back in 2018. They worked side jobs until 2021, 2022, when they quit and went full time. Julien told me a year ago they were doing $35,000 a month, now doing $110,000 a month in revenue, all bootstrapped, which we love, serving 150 customers that pay on average $750 per month. And again, they help you merge your code faster and safer with merge queues, workflow automations, and just a lot of different ways to save time. Hey folks, my guest today is Julien Dangeau. He's the CEO and co-founder of Mergify. He's been a free software developer for the last 20 years, contributing to multiple open source projects and publishing several books on the Python programming language. All right, Julien, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah.
All right. So you're working on Mergify.com today. Tell us, give us an example of a customer that's paying you to use the software.
Yeah, sure. So what we do is we provide automation services for software engineering teams that are using GitHub. So the common problem people have in software engineering teams that, you do a lot of code changes, you do a lot of pull requests. Basically, you're trying to merge your code as fast as possible, and I would say as secure as possible. So our customers usually they're having large repositories, a lot of people, engineers working on their code, and they're trying to make that process of merging the code very fast and reliable.
And so walk me through, on average, what do those customers pay per month to use the technology?
We invoice and bill per seat. So I guess our average team size would be around 100 engineers. So I think for most customers, it's around between $500 and $1,000 per month on a subscription basis.
Okay, cool. We'll go in the middle and just go with 750 there. So just to be clear, you charge on that per seat model. Most teams are about 100. Do you upsell feature sets or anything else?
Yeah, we do. So we have multiple plans. Right now we have free plans. Our larger plan is really for people using GitHub Enterprise Server, which means you are deploying GitHub on your own infrastructure. So we do have a Mergify instance that you can run with that GitHub infrastructure on your cloud, for example. So that's really like our high tier package. Our regular plans, which are basically like a basic plan where you have the basic features of Mergify, for example, a simple merge queue that's going to merge your pull request automatically in a very simple way. And if you want to go faster, have more optimization, we have a premium plan, for example, where we're going to add more and more features, like more advanced features for larger teams, for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay, walk me through some of the backstory here. What year did you write the first line of software for Mergify? Or first line of code, sorry.
What do you mean? First time?
When did you launch the company?
Sorry,
When did you launch the company?
Sorry, we launched the company 5 years ago, basically. So the way we started is that we tried to solve our own problem. Myself and my co-founder, we both are software engineers. And when we started to work on a project on GitHub, we were having this kind of issue where we're trying to automate our work. Basically, we are lazy, so the goal was to having a program that does things for you, and there was a lot of missing features in that regard on GitHub. So we started that way, trying to automate everything, and that's actually where we got our first customers. We both were very active in open source communities. So
name a couple of the open source communities that you were in, where you got your first customers.
We started with a lot of the OpenStack projects. We were working back then at Red Hat, which is a major open source project contributors. There's a lot of people there working. So, for example, the Ceph project, which is distributed storage open source project, started to use the Mergify in their repositories to automate a lot of their work. And that's basically how we started getting first open source project and then our first customers.
And Julien, fast forward to today, how many paying customers are you working with?
We have more than 150 customers right now, mostly in the US. That's really where we find the most companies using GitHub nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And Julien, so can I take 150 customers times the $750 per month average price point? It puts you at about $110,000 a month in revenue. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
That's great. And if you're at $110,000 a month today, where were you exactly 1 year ago, so we can understand growth?
I think a year ago we were at a third of that. So we basically multiplied by 3 over the last year.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right, so the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview.
And have you done all this bootstrapped or have you raised capital?
We are bootstrapped since the beginning, so it took a while, I think, for us to grow, basically because we started with, our own solution, which was, a Python script to automate all of our work, and growing that to a solution that can accommodate, businesses like large corporations, large teams. It took a few months, a few years, finding the good product market fits, even the good marketing, the good way of selling the product took us a few years. And since we didn't raise capital early, which was a choice, we wanted to focus on building the product and not trying to go on a roadshow, trying to find VC or that. It took a few years to start, but at the end of the day, we're quite happy with that decision so far because we're free and very autonomous in the way we can take our decisions.
No, I think that's super smart. Now you keep saying we. Did you have one co-founder at the beginning?
Yeah.
Did you guys just split equity 50-50 at the start?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. So how do you get over disagreements?
It turns out we've been working together with Nelly for more than 10 years. So before starting the venture, I think we worked like for 5 or 6 years together on the same coding project, all of that. So we knew each other very well. And I think we're both alike in the way we think. So it's very rare we disagree on anything. If we do, I think we try to, spend a lot of time discussing. And so far, we never had to be in a very large disagreement where we're like, okay, we're blocked or we're stuck. It's a risk. For sure, I knew since the beginning that it is a risk to split 50-50. Also, it's very fair, and I know the company will not run without Mehdi, and he knows that it will not run without me. So we have to work. You have to have this mindset where you have to work with each other. You can't just get rid of the other one. So it worked very well so far, and it still works to this day. So
how did you launched in 2018? It sounds like your revenue really started sort of the end of 2021. How did you guys pay yourself between 2018 and 2021, like your house rent and for food and things like that?
Yeah, we did not actually. We worked for the first few years. We had 2 jobs for a while. both Nelly and I, and then we were able to switch to that full time. But it took, I mean, the first years were pretty hard. You had to, which is a good thing, I think, to have, because you know that both money and time are very constrained. So you have to focus on the right thing, which as an engineer, you see a lot of stories of people trying to build products and, never launching and adding more and more features because you're like, yeah, that new feature will bring new customers, and you never do anything. Whereas where you were in the first few years, we were in the mindset where we'd be like, we have no time and no money. So like, we have 2 hours of spare time this week. What do we do? What can we do with only 2 hours and basically $0? So you think in a different way, which I think helped us a lot over the years to grow in a way where you don't have a lot of resources. Basically, you do a lot of things. You try to do a lot of things with little.
When did you guys quit your other jobs and go all in on Mergify? What year?
We quit a couple of years ago for Medi. I mean, a different time for me and Medi to be able to focus full time on this. And also when we started to hire more people over the last years, we were able to grow.
When did you quit your other job? 2020, 2021?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we quit a different job for Medi. I quit last year. Maybe a couple of years ago. I mean, as soon as basically we got enough money to start paying 1 salary and then 2 salary, and hire more people.
How many people are you guys today, full time?
We have 10 people full time now in the team.
And how many are still hiring?
We have 7 engineers right now in the team.
Interesting. So who are the other 3? Are they in sales?
Me, I'm doing sales and a lot of things, and we have 2 people working in the marketing team.
Walk me through how you're getting customers today. Is it still open source communities, Hacker News, somewhere else? What's your go-to-market?
Yeah, so basically a lot of open source communities right now. I mean, we're providing the service for free since the beginning for open source projects. So we do a lot of word of mouth. Again, people are seeing that on GitHub being used, and they're curious about what Mergify is, what it does. They're trying it out, and sometimes they're like, they work on their weekend project on an open source project, and they get back to work on Monday being like, well, I just set up this weekend my pet project, and it would be nice to have this at work. So that's often how it started for the first customers. We're getting, I would say, more and more mature customers, more and more bigger customers. So it's more like we need a solution to automate our merge system. We need a merge queue, for example, things like that. So people are looking over the internet. If you know what you're looking for, like a merge queue for GitHub, I mean, we are in the first result of Google, so it's pretty easy to find us. We are one of the only company providing search services, so it's easy to find us and to get started, basically.
Yeah. So there's 2 things here. If people search organically on Google, something like merge queue, GitHub, you'll show up. There's GitHub, and then there's the GitHub blog, and there's merge queue, BuildKite, python.org, and then mergify.com. So you get traffic there. And then you're also actually in the GitHub marketplace. How many of your new signups per month come through this listing here in the GitHub marketplace?
Very few, actually. We used to be in the front page from time to time the first few years. And no, I think we don't bring enough revenue for GitHub. So it basically put us never in the front page. So if you look from Mergify or MergeQ, you will find us on the marketplace, but that's not something that brings a lot of customers for us.
Yeah, that makes sense. Talk to me about moving forward. Do you plan to stay bootstrapped, or you plan to raise capital?
We're planning to stay bootstrapped right now. I mean, we have enough cash and enough revenue to keep growing on our own pace, which is fine because we're still learning. Basically, it's a job of building a company with Medi, which is very new for us. So it's fine growing. I mean, I would say slowly, like hiring more people, building the team, and taking time to do that. It suits us, I think, that pace so far. We do have a lot of, so we'll, I think, staying bootstrap at least for this year. I mean, it's hard to say. Like a year ago, I had no clue we would be 10 people right now. So it's very hard to predict anything, which is a good thing usually when it's about growing. And in terms of like building new products, and we have a ton of new ideas, we do talk a lot to our customers, which are software engineers like us. So it's pretty easy for us to understand their pain, their problems, and we're trying to solve them. So we're trying to come with new ideas, new products in the upcoming year to address one of the market problem.
Yep. Are you doing any paid marketing, or it's all organic?
It's so mostly organic. We started last year to do sponsorship of newsletters, podcasts, things like that, basically to try to reach our audience. It's very hard to do marketing with software engineers, so we have this kind of bottom-up approach where we try to sell to the engineers the solution, the tooling that we build.
So did you spend money on Software Engineering Daily podcast, for example?
Yeah, exactly. This kind of podcast. This kind
Did
of
it do well?
It really depends on the newsletter and the podcast. For example, we did a sponsorship on TLDR, the newsletter, worked pretty well. In our case, I mean, it really depends. You have some podcasts that just were flop basically, and not get back. And in some cases, some newsletter or some podcasts were pretty great. I don't remember all the numbers from off my head, but usually.
Do you remember what you paid to sponsor this TLDR.tech when there's a million readers on this daily email?
No, I don't know, honestly.
Like,
what's a few $1,000s. I mean, I know our budget. Yeah, I know our budget usually is between a few hundred to a few $1,000s.
Yep. Interesting. Very cool. Well, listen, this is a great story. We're certainly rooting for you guys. I guess last question before we wrap up. If someone came today, you're doing 110,000 a month or about 1.4 million a year right now. If someone came and offered you guys, maybe GitHub, and offered you 10 million all cash up front, would you sell?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, we're still growing at a rapid pace. We are happy with what we're doing. So it might be a bit soon to start the business yet. I mean, in the long term, that makes sense to sell to a company that, is a good fit for us, or, is a good fit for the product we're trying to build.
All right, we'll see what happens. In the meantime here, Julien, let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite book?
That's a good question. I think I liked The Recipe the Difference, which is about negotiation. I learned a lot from reading this book.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I like Nathan Barry, which is the CEO of ConvertKit.
Yep. Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building Mergify?
GitHub, I guess.
That's fair. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Really depends on my kids, but probably 7 to 8.
Okay. And sorry, what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
I'm married and I have 2 kids.
2 kids. Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 39.
39. Last question. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20 years old?
I don't know. So many things. It's hard to say.
All right, guys, there you have it. Mergify launched back in 2018. They worked side jobs until 2021, 2022, when they quit and went full time. Julien told me a year ago they were doing $35,000 a month, now doing $110,000 a month in revenue, all bootstrapped, which we love, serving 150 customers that pay on average $750 per month. And again, they help you merge your code faster and safer with merge queues, workflow automations, and just a lot of different ways to save time. Julien, thanks for taking us to the top.
You're welcome.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company, or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them, and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.